Once you have your color grading done, you're going to go into your brush panel and you're going to scroll down and select your particle brush. And then you are going to go up and create a new layer. And you're going to label this small. And this is going to be for our smaller pieces of snow that we're just going to start brushing in here. We just want a little bit of this because we actually want to focus on some of those bigger particles as well. So we're just going to put a little bit of that in there, and then we're going to add another layer for our medium-sized snowflakes. We're going to raise up our brush size, and we're going to start brushing these in. Now you want to go over your model because that makes it more realistic. So you want some in the hair, you want some over their skin. You probably want to brush off anything that ends up on their face because you don't want to block anything important. So all you have to do is put a layer mask on that and you can brush it right off. And then we're going to go ahead and add another layer, and we're going to make that bigger. And at this point, we're going to get some of those snowflakes in the foreground in our image, just like this. And like I said, if it ends up somewhere you don't like, all you have to do is put a black layer mask on, and you can just brush it off with a normal brush. So right there, we have some right around there that I don't necessarily like. I would go ahead and put my layer mask on. I'm going to switch my brush to a soft brush. And I'm going to go ahead and paint off of her face, because I don't want that right there on her face. And if something's a little bit too bright, I can actually lower my opacity and tap it off there. Now, the other thing you can do is actually change the blur of your snowflakes. So the small snowflakes, those are not going to necessarily be on the same layer as my model. So I would go up to Filter, down to Blur, Gaussian Blur, and then I would play with the levels until I'm happy. So let's see, I think I'm going to add in a few more snowflakes here. And I'm going to grab my snow brush again because remember I switched brushes. So I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. And I'm just going to start filling in. And look at that, it's on a lower opacity, so it doesn't fill in quite as much. So I can change my opacity and have it lighter or darker, more pronounced or less pronounced. And I'm just going to go ahead and fill that in there. And we got some on our face that we're not going to like. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fix that momentarily. And of course I can change my opacity on the layer. So I can make that lower or brighter. Just kind of like it like that. Let's run with that. And then I can tap off anywhere that I don't want it. So I'm going to add in just a few more flakes because I feel like I want a little more in the top corners here. Just because I like a really texturized look with my snow. Now if you want it to look like it's really snowy, you can actually go in and change your blur setting. So let's just say that I wanted to make that a little bit more blurry. I would go up to Filter, Blur, Motion Blur. And then I would just change the distance. So now it looks like it's moving. And ta-da! That is how you use your snow brush. We're going to use that after you do your color grading. And then I would even recommend adding in another layer. Title this one Fog. You're going to use a big brush here. You're going to take your white. You're just going to, on a low opacity, just type in, add in a little bit of a frosty look to this. Not everywhere, just in some places. Make it nice and frosty there. So there you have it. But as I use your snow brush, if you have questions, go ahead and leave comments below. I am happy to help you out, get this answered for you. And I would love to see what you're working on, so go ahead and drop me a link, send me a direct message or an email, because I want to know what you are working on and how you are using these snow brushes in your own photography. I'm Cam Robinson social media marketing strategist here at Kim Robinson Photography and over at Reading Transforms, and I hope that you have found this tutorial helpful. Have a great day and stay inspired.